right, people. When it comes to Islam, there are many absurd things within Islam, but outside of Islam, there are two things that never make any sense to me. Number one, why do women convert or defend Islam, especially when it is one of the most, if not the most, misogynistic religions in the world? Why would any sane woman convert to Islam? I have my theories. I've made separate videos about that. And number two, why do Black people fall to Islamist propaganda and convert to Islam? People cry about the transatlantic slave trade, and obviously a dark chapter in our history and slavery in general. But the African slave trade by the Muslims went on for nearly 1,000 years. And not only just that, Muhammad himself had black slaves. Muhammad himself. So it doesn't make any sense to me. So let's have a look. Let me just give you a little highlight of how Muslims treat Black people, how racism is rampant in the Muslim world. So this Muslim guy, some people say that he was Ahmad Yaqub because he posted it. Ahmad Yaqub is this clown from Birmingham. He's calling this black officer black mofo. He was arrested, but then he denied it because obviously his camera was not, his face was not on the camera, so he hid behind it. But that's not it. Look at this. Look at this fine Algerian. No, hang on. Actually, not just one. A group of men in Algeria capture a black child and humiliate him. It's in Arabic, so I'm just going to translate it to you. He says, "You blacks are nothing more than dirty slaves, our slaves. You should be grateful that we let you live in Algeria." That's him. Look at him. It's just humiliating that poor black child. And they're laughing about it. They're laughing about it. I can tell you, even in Pakistan, yeah. I've said it before and I'll say it again. And I would challenge any person to come and debate with me on this. White people are the least racist people on the planet. They're the least racist people. They have done more than any other community to end racism. They have corrected their own society. Some people may say that they have overcorrected. Okay? There's no other society, no others. I have enormous respect for the Japanese community, for Japan and Korea, and even China. I have enormous respect for what they've done, but they haven't paid any attention to racism. Their societies are extremely racist, not just towards Black people, but other communities as well. Okay, not my place to judge them because, you know, that's just one element. But this is why I'm saying white people are the least racist people on the planet, yet they lecture the West on racism. But I'm glad that Black Americans are fighting back. Have a look at this. These Black Americans are fighting back. They're pushing back against these pro-Palestinian Islamist simps. This is happening in Chicago, yeah? Really good. That's good. They're fighting back. They're like, you know what? You don't represent us.
The Chicago Black folks who was fighting the Muslims out there. You gotta do better. Next time, call me. I fight good as a bitch. Man, I fight God. And I love to fight. You heard me? You should have called me. And y'all bet not get back.
I'm not endorsing any violence. I'm just reporting on the sentiment that some Black Americans are sharing. And oh, actually, that would be really interesting. Which side are the wokies going to pick? The Black people side or the Islamist side? That's going to be very interesting.
To your little Muslim hood and tell her, we made the Black folks run. No, the you did. We thought one of you pedos had a bomb. And we thought that bitch went off. But I swear to God, next time, do
I get the sentiment.
Better, Chicago. Call me, nigga.
Oh, there's so many things about Black culture that you have to love. Okay, look at this. So I Show Speed, who's a streamer, he went to Africa and he showed the world the 1,400-year-long Arab enslavement of Black Africans. Let's have a watch.
With over 50 million YouTube subscribers, globally recognized and celebrated influencer Darren Jason Watkins Jr., aka I Show Speed, chose to travel across Africa. Speed visited Nigeria, Angola, Kenya, Ethiopia, Rwanda, Mozambique, South Africa, and more. He was embraced everywhere. Young African boys were in tears as they rushed to hug him. Speed was celebrated and embraced across East, West, and Southern Africa. But at times, his treatment in Arab Islamic North Africa, Egypt, Morocco, and especially Algeria was very different. He saw up close and personal the hatred and racism towards Black Africans, including African Americans. In the streets, Speed was met with racial slurs and other derogatory.
Very common in Pakistan too, by the way. Even if someone is darker in Pakistan, because like we're brown, but some Pakistanis tend to be really, really dark, really black, even though they've got brown colored siblings. Then the black one gets all kinds of name calling, Galu, Gala, all kinds of things. So it's just this is why I'm saying a lot of that might come out of ignorance. That they don't mean harm, but they just find it funny. That's why I'm saying that no other society has done more than the white community to combat or minimize racism.
Phrases. He attended a soccer match between Nigeria and Algeria, AFCON. Speed and his team were met with more racial slurs and physical objects were thrown at them. The atmosphere got so tense, they had to leave early, needing extra security to do so. Shout out to Senegal for winning the championship. Yes, sports fans around the world can get loud and violent. But Speed was attacked as a Black man in a land where Black men and women are bought and sold. Imagine how viral these videos would be if this were Europe and the people shouting were Portuguese, English, or French, and they still had Black slaves, like they do in Algeria, Mauritania, Libya, Qatar, Sudan, Saudi Arabia, and all throughout the Arab or Islamic world. Without even trying to do so, I Show Speed has brought the Arab enslavement of Africans to a younger generation.
The West ended slavery centuries ago. The UK outlawed slavery in 1833. Obviously, Abraham Lincoln went to war, civil war in the middle of the 19th century. The West ended slavery. And there's still slavery taking place in the Muslim world. You know why? Because Islam allowed it. And Muslims are fundamentalists when it comes. Muslims always draw their morality from Islam. And there is I think it's chapter 66, verse 1, where Allah, which is Muhammad, says that what we have deemed lawful to Muslims, or Muhammad, in that case, he was talking about Muhammad because Muhammad wanted to have sex slaves and his wives didn't want him to have a sex slave. So Muhammad got terrified of his other wives who were saying, "Oh, it was my turn." Hafsa was saying, "This is my turn to sleep with you. Why are you banging my housemaid who was Muhammad's sex slave too, because she was a slave?" So Muhammad said, "Okay, please don't tell my other wives. I will never touch them." So then Allah, who looks after, who's always concerned about Muhammad's sex life, Muhammad, he brought down this verse, chapter 66, verse 1, 2, 3, 4, the first 5 verses talk about that. Allah said to Muhammad, "Hey, what we have deemed lawful, no one can make it unlawful." So whatever Allah has ordained lawful, i.e., which includes sex slavery and slavery itself, you can't outlaw it. So that's why ISIS insists on bringing back slavery. That's why Afghanistan, the Taliban have brought back slavery. And that's why these countries, Mauritania and Yemen and all these other Muslim countries, are still practicing slavery. And where they're getting their slaves from? Africa. Now you understand that? So if Muslims follow Islam to a T, why would they leave out this part? They don't. And that's why I'm saying, I don't understand why Black people, of all people, why do you follow Islam? Why do you convert to Islam?
So bombarded with media and government lies and propaganda. The so-called Free Palestine movement has always sought to exploit Black communities to further the cause of hatred for Israel and the Jewish people.
They do that everywhere. They're doing that here in Australia. They're exploiting the Aboriginal community. They're doing the natives. They're exploiting the natives in Canada, and they exploit the African American community in America. They don't care about any of these people. I've said it before, if they would have. You're going to say that, oh, I'm talking about Australia now. Okay, anyways, yeah, let's just get into it.
Meanwhile, some of the same people who claim allyship with Black people hate and enslave those same Black people.
You see how they clearly treat I Show Speed. You see that. I dealt with that. Only when I spoke to like the people, because all y'all did was gaslight and try to tell me, oh, it's just your experience. Don't be pigeonholed by your experience. Why aren't you speaking up about Black women being sold in these nasty countries, including your own, including Dubai, including Kuwait, Qatar, Oman?
Speed is no Zionist.
Free Palestine, man.
But that's actually what makes his experience in Algeria even more powerful. Many are waking up, shaking off decades of deception. And it's not Hasbara or any kind of Israeli initiative responsible for the shaking. No, it's those who hate Jews and Africans, those who hate Israel and Africa, speaking for themselves. May they
Muslims hate everyone. Aboriginals, the natives of America, Africans, Jews, and you too, Christians. And again, this comes directly from Islam. Let me show you some of the golden sayings of Muhammad. Look at this Hadith of Muhammad. Sahih Hadith. Muhammad said, I admonish you to fear Allah and to listen and obey, even if a black slave has been appointed as your leader. Okay, so you might say, okay, well, he's saying even if it's a slave, it's a black slave. You know, black and slavery goes hand in hand in Islam, okay? It just goes hand in hand. Let me show you another one. This is Sahih al-Bukhari. This is more authentic. You should listen and obey your ruler, even if he was an Ethiopian black slave. So in order to find the lowest of the low, look at his example. Even if he was a black Ethiopian slave, you should listen to him, because the emphasis is you should listen to your leader. Normally, your leader is going to be another light-skinned Arab. But no, not only just then. You should listen to him even if he's black. It doesn't end here, though. Look at the next line. Whose head looks like a raisin. He had to throw an insult in. That's Muhammad, guys. Again, I understand if other Muslims want to simp for him, Arab want to simp for him, fair enough. He was one of their own. But why are these black people, why are black people simping for Islam? You should not be simping for Islam. Look what's going to happen to the evildoers on the day, on the judgment day. On the day when some faces will turn bright, the good people's faces will turn bright, and their faces will turn dark. Like the evil ones, their faces will turn dark. So if you want to say, you know, Muhammad Ali had the problem with the word blackmail. Why is evil always portrayed as black? Why is blackmailing black? Why is not white mailing? Because black is associated with dark and shady stuff. Well, the Quran is doing the same thing. Islam is doing the same thing. There's another one. This is Quran, chapter 39, verse 60. And on the day of judgment, you will see those who had forged lies against Allah in a state that their faces are turned black. So black, darkness, Islam perpetuates the same racist stereotypes and standards that black people have complained about in Western society. It's the same in Islam. The worst part is Islam cannot be corrected. These attitudes still exist in the Muslim world. And let me say that again, my dear black people. Western countries are the least racist countries. They're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But you should acknowledge it. You should not hate the West. You should hate these people. But anyway, having said that, though, I'm glad that other black people are starting to talk about this. There's another video. Look at this. This is a black British person. Oh, it's my tweet. He's having a go at them. Tommy Robinson retweeted it as well. He calls out the Muslim community, these pro-Palestine simps.
You lot can send me all the racist comments you like. We are not people of color. So you can call me the Black Tommy, but these are the facts. We are not people of color. I'm black. You're people of color. And
he's talking about brown Muslims because, you know, browns, Muslims especially, you know what they do? They love to rally all these people, whether they're the Aboriginals of Australia or the natives of America and Canada, or the African American community or the blacks of Britain. They try to, you know, group all of these people together to put a united front against the white man. But that's why some smart black people are speaking up against it. They're like, hey, we ain't a part of your BS campaign.
Our way of life and our culture is not the same. That's not Slavic. We're not the same. That's why you lot are being done for grooming. There is no black Muslims on this grooming thing. So we're not the same. Our culture, our black culture, is closest of any race to whites. And they are the facts. You people have an ulterior motive. You want to come here, scream racism so you can get your own way. And when you don't get your own way, you want to call everyone racism. You wouldn't know racism if it come and slapped you in the face. I was brought up on racism, but the facts still remain the same. You people have a demeaning, derogative mentality against kids and women. Why don't you message me and tell me which one of you people in which religion ain't like that? Follow and repost.
Well done. I forgot to show you this hadith. This is damning. Oh, look at this. Look at the chapter's name. Look at the name of the chapter. The permissibility of selling animals for animals of the same kind and of different quality. There came a slave and pledged allegiance to Allah's apostle on migration. A black slave, obviously. He, the Holy Prophet, did not know that he was a slave. Then there came his master and demanded him back. Whereupon Allah's apostle said, sell him to me. And he bought him for 2 black slaves. Actually, no, sorry. He wasn't a black slave. So he bought this Muslim for 2 black slaves. So you can sell an animal for an animal of the same kind and of different quality. That's the moral of the story. That's how slaves, first of all, that's how slaves are viewed. And then that's how one non-black slave is worth 2 black slaves. That's Islam for you. This is a very damning hadith. This Muhammad is actually criticized a lot over this. But there's some other black people too speaking up about this. Look at this North African. I don't know if he's North African. He might have some black in him. Look at him. He's in Qatar and he's carefully saying something. Have a listen.
Like overall Qatar is a nice place, but you always like find the black people. Yeah. Oh,
Careful.
The Patriots.
Yeah.
Oh.
So black people are portrayed as the bad guys in Qatar.
Oh, anyway.
Doesn't this is live, obviously. He said something live and now he's like, oh, he's stunned. He's like, am I going to get in trouble?
Yeah, we do technically take their passports.
It's Qatari. So I think he's a good person. I know he's smiling because he's trying to make light of the situation, but he knows there's something's wrong. We take their passports. We portray them as bad people. Have a listen to this guy. Smart person. He has something to say.
Muslims to this day are enslaving black people in Africa. It was Muslims are the reason why we blacks are here in America today. Not because of what Christians, white people did to us.
Weren't those slave traders white
Muslims.
men from Europe?
No, they were Muslims.
Arab slave
Blacks
traders.
and Muslims. The slave trade was going on long before white people, Christians or Jews even showed up. In fact, from 700 AD, from what I can research, go Google stuff up. 18 million blacks were taken out of Africa into the eastern parts of Arabia and the East, and so forth and so on. 18 million, whereas the whites and Christians bought about 13 million from the black and Muslim slave traders in the continent, the West African slave trade. But you never hear about that. You never hear that part. All you hear is what white Christians and Jews did. The fault of white Christians and Jews is that they disobeyed the Torah. And for the love of money to make profit, they abandoned what they had forsaken in Europe and took on the curse of Africa.
He's absolutely right about this. I actually made a detailed video on that. I'll include the link in the description if I get a chance. is called A Brief History of Slavery in Islam. It's about 3 years old, so maybe the quality might not be up to... Actually, no, it was pretty good quality. I don't know. It didn't get as many views as I would have liked. It's only 67K. But whatever he was saying, I presented academic evidence to support that man's claim, because it's hidden history and Muslims love to cover it up, but it's out there. Oh, look at this. Another black man raises alarm on the level of racism and slavery exhibited by Arab Muslims to this day. No self-respecting black man can support this religion.
Going to the Middle East. They don't like you. Did I say that loud enough? Stop going there. I can't stand the UAE, United Arab Emirates. I can't stand none of them. No self-respecting black person should be vacationing in a slave state. Do you understand? It's a slave state. There's like 5 goddamn Arabs there who are really citizens. Everybody else is a slave working for the 5 billionaires that live there. Everybody. Filipinos, Southeast Asians, and Africans are being beat, abused, and taken advantage of. They're slaves in the country.
To be fair, obviously I don't condone slavery, but I have gotten off my moral high horse. I do think that the UAE and Saudi Arabia, they're finding the right amount of balance on how to deal with people from other cultures, okay? We obviously can't go the Western route. Look at London. Look at the UK. Look at the West. It's all falling apart because we said, oh, you want to come from that third world primitive barbaric culture? You come in and walk around. We've seen what's happened. Have gone through the roof, stabbing, assault, everything. So you don't see that in Saudi Arabia or in the UAE because they're like, hey, if you break the law, boom, you're off, you're going. But then obviously that doesn't mean that you shouldn't pay those people their fair wages, okay? I've said this before that in Australia, okay, we're struggling with, we're facing labor shortages. We don't have many people. So bring in people from other countries, preferably India. Don't give them a natural pathway to citizenship because we're full, okay? We don't want a demographic collapse. Sorry, we don't want it. Australians don't want it. Successive elections, successive leaders have promised that they will cut down immigration, but instead they have doubled it. The same thing happened in the UK. Every Tory prime minister said, we'll cut down immigration, but what they did, they doubled it. So clearly they don't have the political mandate. So don't give them citizenships, give them their fair wages, but then at the same time, don't let them off the hook. Apply your law. But we have seen how our Western woke judges, our Western woke politicians, they bend over backwards. Rapists get away with community service orders. So many of these cases where they've said, oh, sorry, I didn't understand. In my religion, it's okay. I come from a different culture. And judges say, oh, yeah, he didn't know that it's okay to a woman. So I wouldn't fully agree with that person, but I get the sentiment, okay? Obviously, there should be no slavery. You shouldn't be exploiting workers or people, but that doesn't mean that we should be bending over backwards like the West is bending over backwards to people from hostile cultures. So yeah, look, there are plenty of other videos. The moral of the story is Islam is racist. More black people have suffered at the hands of Islam than at the hands of the transatlantic slave trade of the 15th, 16th, 17th centuries. That only lasted for a couple of hundred years, okay? And I'm not minimizing it. I'm not minimizing the evils of the slave trade. It was also the Christians who actually also worked, in Britain at least. The Quakers played a huge role in ending slavery. So, yeah, white people are the least racist people. They ended slavery. They forced the Muslim world to end slavery as well. I think Mauritania had slavery. Officially, they ended slavery in 2003 or something. Yemen had it until 1960 or something. Saudi Arabia had it until the start of the 20th century. Actually, no, in the middle of the 20th century. Please, don't be a sucker. Muhammad Ali, I admired it. I had his poster. Actually, I left it in my old house. I love Muhammad Ali, the greatest entertainer of all time, but he was wrong on Islam. Very wrong on Islam. The guy whose name he dumped, Cassius Clay, in favor of Muhammad Ali, both had multiple African slaves. Both Muhammad and Ali had multiple slaves. He took that name in exchange for Cassius Clay, who actually was an abolitionist. Isn't that an interesting tidbit from history? Cassius Clay, 1810 to 1903, was a wealthy Kentucky planter turned abolitionist. So he actually, he wasn't some woke liberal of his time. He actually was a planter himself. So he went against it. Despite his southern roots, he became a fiery anti-slavery crusader, Cassius Marcellus Clay. Oh, I wish Muhammad Ali had Googled Cassius Clay. Someone should have told him. Anyway.